Hey everyone, what's up? In this video I want to talk about why I enjoy watching Acola Steve. Now, this might be a surprise to many of you who watched my last video, because why would you go on a rant for a Kazuya player but admit to enjoy watching an even more broken DLC character? Well, I want to remind everyone watching the videos of this series that I'm purely talking about why I like or dislike watching someone play. For me, this is always a mix of liking the character they play, their gameplay itself, and also how I feel about the player. But even if I don't like someone's playstyle, or even their social media presence, this doesn't mean I actually hate the player. I mean, I still barely know them. In my opinion, this is totally subjective and there's no right or wrong. It's like apples and oranges. You might like one of them, you might like both, or even none. But no matter your decision, every answer is correct, but subjective to your own likings. Since Steve is a very controversial character, and one which I personally hate fighting much more than Kazuya, he's a perfect fit for this video. So in today's video I want to explain to you guys what I find special and enjoyable about Acola Steve. So without further ado, let's start the video. I think most of us love watching movies, and ever since I was a child, I always liked underdog stories. There's something cool about someone randomly showing up out of nowhere and doing really good. Kinda like a superhero. Acola is someone we all didn't know about before offline tourneys in Japan came back. And then suddenly we hear about this really young Steve player beating established top players in Japan, which occasionally even travel to the US and place top 8 at pretty much every event they go to. I think Acola fits into this underdog story setting very well, and even if it is for him playing Steve, I personally think it's cool how for the first time since at least I'm watching Smash, there's this Japanese player having a chance at being the best player in the world. I think that makes for a cool underdog story, and it's one of the reasons I like to watch him. Most of the time, when there's someone being really good with a character, and I mean really good, then it's because they are doing something completely different from the rest. I mean, there's a lot of Steves placing top 8 at Smash events these days, but still, no one is being as dominant with Steve as Acola is, at least so far. When people first watched him play, they noticed that Acola isn't only using blocks to place walls in front of him, but he also places them behind himself and mines just in front of his enemy. If the enemy is successful in attacking him, he can just tag at the wall that he built behind himself and maybe even punish his opponent. At the Gimvitational, Charles asked him how he came up with this strategy, and Acola said that it wasn't even his own idea, but that he saw Shuton do it and copied it.
One thing that I noticed about your gameplay specifically is just how you use blocks. Did someone teach you that, or did you come up with that? Because I think the way you use your blocks in neutral is very innovative. The way you put the blocks behind you and play neutral from there.
So he came up with someone. Who?
Shoot on.
Shoot on. Smart man.
So he seems to be very good and creative at taking new tech and strategies and putting them into work in his own gameplay. But of course, this isn't everything Acola does differently from other Steves. Because if this were the case, then these just mentioned other Steve players would have easily recreated Acola's success. I think it's one thing to play a broken character and another to say that you think your character might be really strong. To my knowledge, at the Gimvitational, Acola told us when he was asked who are the top 3 characters in the game that he thinks Steve is the best character.
His top 3 is Gekkoga, Greninja, and Steve. Okay. And Diddy.
Of course, saying your character is broken doesn't magically make your gameplay super fancy, but I feel like that he truly believes in his character and also that he's playing very confident with him. And I personally always like to watch confident players because it somewhat shows in their gameplay. Now, this last point is kinda just me being me, but Wi-Fi brought me into the competitive Smash scene myself. After I was so good at Smash that my family didn't want to play with me anymore, I started playing Wi-Fi. And it was there where I saw a lot of other and better players fight. I saw the stuff they did and it motivated me a lot to become better and better at the game myself. I wanted to beat these players that were able to beat me and play more like them. Even though I'm kinda projecting this onto Acola, I think it's cool that a top player probably felt the same way. He did grind Wi-Fi tourneys a lot, so I don't think this is too far off, and he's now at a point where he's one of the best players in his country. Maybe even the best.
This is the strongest player on the island at this moment, taking #1 in the Wi-Fi rankings for this season, taking #1 at the Kansai Super Major Maisma 5 days ago, and taking #1 here at Kagaribi, #7 Z-Mangs. This is incredible.
Anyways, everyone, this wasn't supposed to be my next player of the series, but I thought it's important to show that even if someone is playing the most broken character in the game, and one which I hate fighting, I still might enjoy their gameplay. At the end of the day, it's just subjective to each of us who we like to watch. Some of you guys might be big Tekken fans and enjoy watching Kazuya over Steve like this guy, and I think that's all totally fine. It's not like Steve is my favorite character to watch either. And furthermore, isn't this what makes Smash so special? That there's someone for every one of us to enjoy playing or watching or even fighting against? I also want to mention that there are only a few Steves that I like to watch besides Acola. 2 of them are these 2 Steve legends. So which Steve do you enjoy to watch? Is it Acola? Is it Onin? Or do you just think that Steve is boring no matter the player? I also think that I should maybe stick to doing videos on players that I enjoy watching than those I dislike, because of all the hate in the comments. But at the same time, I don't want to censor myself and, well, just express my opinion. So let me know in the comments what you think. As always, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.